might have to take my to-do list of 20 things and say, I'm only gonna do 3 things today, and I'm gonna feel like a bad bitch at the end of the day. If you don't want to call yourself a B-word, that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna feel extremely accomplished at the end of those 3 things. And if I get anything extra done, then whoo, I'm killing the game. Hi everybody, my name is the Multifaceted Mom, and I am back with another Mom and Mental Health series episode. Yeah, I'm so excited to talk about this because this topic is so freaking close to my heart, because I've been in the trenches of motherhood and that shit gets real, okay? I mean, it gets so real that sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. And my moms of honestly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's get into it. So I have my laptop here, and as I talked about before, we are going to talk about overstimulation, and something that our parents, I feel like, dealt with was being overstimulated. But because mental health was such a taboo topic, and in a lot of our communities, mental health is not looked at as a real issue, but thankfully now it is. And now we know a lot of the whys behind certain actions and certain feelings and behaviors of our actions, and it's great. So full disclosure, yeah, I got my notebook, my laptop here, so I can just stay on topic. Full disclosure, I am not a therapist. I am not. Oh, don't even do it. I got your little keyboard. Look. Y'all, Lila is busy, okay? Anyway, full disclosure, I am not a therapist. That's 1. 2, this advice that I'm going to give is literally on my personal, based on my personal experience, and is not meant to replace the advice or the information that a medical professional or a licensed professional therapist gives you. I am in school to be a perinatal therapist, so I'll be that person later, but right now I am not. So, story time, you guys. There has been so many times where I have been overstimulated, and I mean like extremely, just like shaking, heart beating really fast. Literally, I recall multiple times when I've been afraid to stay at home on weekends. Now, particularly my time that I'm extremely overstimulated is the weekend, because so the weekend is my time that I am extremely overstimulated. When I was in a relationship, the type of pattern or routine that we had, whether it was good or bad or whatever, it was that during the week, Monday through Friday, pretty much I was a full-time parent. And then, or full-time parent, but I also was a working stay-at-home mom, and I got help sometimes, but usually around the weekends is when I literally, when I tell you I was from morning to nighttime, full-blown mommy duty, and with no breaks whatsoever, not even to go to the bathroom, not even to eat. Like, it was just a struggle. Those were my times that I was extremely overstimulated. So, to give a definition, overstimulation is when parents are constantly overstimulated, they are at risk of exploding and also acting out in anger with their children. What's wrong? It usually happens when your brain pretty much has multiple tabs open, and you're thinking of doing a lot. You're thinking of what you have to do. You're thinking of multiple things. And a lot of us moms experience when we are thinking or have several thoughts going on at once, while also trying to take care of our little ones and our kids. And it oftentimes could be very extremely frustrating and overwhelming for us. So just to let you know, some of these facts and information I've gotten from very well-known websites. One particularly, Psych Mommy, Motherly, oh, she wants to nurse. Psych Mommy, Motherly, what else? And Happy as a Mother. Those are some of my favorite websites, as well as my personal experience of what I have experienced in being overstimulated. So what happens when you are overstimulated as a mom? Mom rage can happen, being extremely snappy. I also didn't add this to my list, but lack of empathy. I definitely have experienced that when it... Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So, mom rage, being snappy, like I said, not being empathetic, we are more likely to suffer from burnout, being irritable. We suffer from anxiety, crying outbursts. Lord knows I've been through my fair share of just busting out crying. The urge to cover our ears, and unable to focus. So I've experienced multiple symptoms that I've named. Mom rage for sure. Oh my gosh. Not being empathetic. It's extremely hard to gentle parent when you are overstimulated yourself. Definitely anxiety. And also covering my ears. Honestly, like, it's been times when I felt like a child who just like literally I can't take it, and I've had to literally cover my ears sometimes just to block it out for like a second and just gather myself. And usually I'm a spiritual person, so usually I gather myself at that point and just like pray, like, God, give me the strength to deal with this moment. Because there are hard moments to deal with when you are parenting, especially for those who have smaller children who you're raising to be these tiny human beings and managing their emotions as well as your emotions. And oftentimes I believe that within this time period that we're going through, a lot of us in this generation are experiencing, we're healing from our own stuff. And a lot of times we didn't even know we needed to heal from particular trauma until we became parents. Or until we got married. So when you're dealing with this trauma yourself, oftentimes you're extremely triggered from your child's behavior or from anything that can be going on with your kids and parenting. And not only do you have to deal with your triggers, but you also have to take care of your kids in real time, deal with their emotions, deal with when they're angry and they have these big emotions that are extremely hard to navigate because they don't necessarily they're not in that developmental stage where they can even understand what you're talking about, like, it's a hot ass mess and it's extremely hard. So some of the things that have worked for me, and I also want to disclose that I'll be giving advice on what has worked for me, as well as advice that is also in a few articles that I gathered, and some things that I also have done within those articles. So things that have worked for me have been getting out the house. Definitely that's one of my top things, especially on a Saturday when I can already tell it's gonna be some bullshit. I'm gonna be blunt. I will wake up and I just want to kind of chill for a second, decompress, like just woosah, and next thing you know, it's full blown baby waking up, Tyler waking up, eat, I want to eat, she want to nurse. It's just like straight get to it. As soon as I sense that, I'm out the house. And that's something that is usually, again, on the weekends. I kid you not, because it's both of my kids fighting for my attention, and that is extremely hard because it's all day. I would give up control in that moment. So something with that is sometimes as parents I'm a control freak. So I'm overcoming these controlling issues where I have to control every aspect of every single thing. So when I'm overstimulated, something that has helped me is just kind of just giving into motherhood, surrendering to motherhood. And sometimes that's just what you have to do. If your child, for example, wants to, they want to wear a particular pair of shoes and you don't want them to wear that pair of shoes, sometimes just trying to force them to do something that they don't want to do, it's just not worth your sanity. Like, it's just small little battles that you have to really think of. And I remember a YouTube video that I watched about mom rage, and oftentimes our brain, and I'm gonna link that video below as well, our brain is in that fight or flight mode. It is like, it's questioning, is this a threat? And a lot of times when you are experiencing that rage or that irritation, your nervous system is like, this is a threat. And you have to kind of train your nervous system to say, my child wearing this particular pair of shoes is not a threat to my life. It's a threat to my ego, but it's not a threat to my life. And again, like, that's something that I've been trying to do check-ins with myself to kind of conquer those moments of being overstimulated and just saying, you know what, Taya, just pick and choose your battles. Taking deep breaths. My therapist really helped me with this, along with, honestly, just, it's been my therapist. I love her. She really helped me to learn how to stop and just start taking deep breaths. And I've been able to really teach Lori that anytime she get angry, I'm just like, take a deep breath. And she like do her little cute breath or whatever. But that has helped me in that time as well. Turning off anything that's like too many noises. Yeah, if the TV on, if Lori yelling, if I'm talking on the phone, or I'm listening to a TikTok, or if I'm trying to edit a video, or if I'm on a meeting or anything, like, cut off something. I need to cut off a noise. I need to cut off all noises if possible. I need to immediately retreat from anything that is not absolutely necessary. And that also means enforcing quiet time, which is my next one. Sometimes I would have to stop my television show that I'm watching and turn on something that I know for a fact will have those girls distracted, like YouTube, screen time. Yes, I do that shit, and I have no problem doing it because it is absolutely necessary for my mental sanity. Do you want to do 12 hours of screen time? If you need to get through that day by 12 hours of screen time, then that's what the heck you got to do to get through the day. And that is your business. That is not my business. But at the same time, I'd rather a parent or me, if I was that parent, to have my child having 12 hours of screen time than to be overstimulated and end up yelling at them, end up slipping up and hitting them, which is something that I've been not doing with my gentle parenting journey. So it's like, I'd rather go that route than go the physical discipline route or go the yelling route, because the Lord knows I slip up with that as well. And I've been getting so much better, y'all. Like, I'm just so proud of myself with that. But again, it's just knowing when to immediately retreat and your needs. What else? Oh, cleaning up my space. Just enough though. Don't try to clean up your space spotless with kids. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Because if y'all have seen my TikToks, I literally have tried to clean up and Lori would make a mess right after. I mean, like right after I clean up. And honestly, even sometimes like washing dishes, for example, I love a clean kitchen and love a clean bathroom. Those are like my two, like, please just keep clean. Sometimes I have had to just quickly take out the clothes in the bathroom, put them up, do a quick little wash the dishes, or maybe not even wash the dishes, maybe just put all the dishes in the sink, wash the counters, clean up literally just enough to where I am not stressed out over the mess in my house. If I have to sweep everything in a pile, and that pile includes toys, trash, food that's on the floor, papers, shoes, clothes, whatever, if I have to put that in a pile that's out of my eyesight, that I can just, okay, I'll deal with that pile later in order to get through the moment or the day, that is what I have to do. And if that works for some of you moms, let me tell you, like, y'all know, clean up just enough and we'll deal with it later. And my last one is single tasking. Y'all, I am 110% a type A person. I am a type A person. I have multiple lists. I have lists in my phone. I have lists in my email. I have lists in my planner. I have multiple notebooks of lists. I don't even know what they're for. It might be a list of what I'm doing today, tomorrow, my goals, or whatever. I am the queen of multitasking. That is honestly how I'm able to get homework done, how I'm able to nurse and vlog, how I'm able to do my 9-to-5 work along with doing my client work for my virtual assistant business. I am able to multitask. However, with multitasking comes a lot of stress, especially when you get overstimulated, which is why typically I have been able to identify that single tasking, stopping immediately what I'm doing. If I can't edit a video at the same time as being with my babies, because a lot of times it's really my Tyler who is demanding that. Well, they both are extremely demanding. Oh my God. All day. And they need me in some moments to just pay 110% to both of them. Sometimes Lori just wants 110% of me, and sometimes Lila needs 110%. And in those moments, I have to give it to him. And sometimes just indulging myself in those moments of motherhood has really helped me to, enjoy motherhood, because sometimes we often think, that we have to get so much done. And yes, we want to get a lot done to become the, bad mothers that we are, and to get a lot done and get a lot accomplished and accomplish these big goals that we have, especially for my ambitious moms who just have hella ideas and you just want to do everything. But sometimes it just is everything in that moment to just really just indulge yourself in motherhood. And honestly, in those moments, I have felt the tension leave my body and just be able to relax. If anything, I have been able to just take deep breaths and just say, okay, I'm only gonna focus on my children. I'm gonna put a timer on for an hour, and after that hour, then I'm gonna go back to doing something. Or I might have to take my to-do list of 20 things and say, I'm only gonna do 3 things today, and I'm gonna feel like a bad bitch at the end of the day. If you don't want to call yourself a B word, that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna feel extremely accomplished at the end of those 3 things. And if I get anything extra done, then I'm killing the game. And that is what I've had to do. So how do you deal with triggers? And this advice is given by Psyched Mommy about sensory overload. Again, I'm linking the article in the description below. So 1, know your triggers. 2, create a routine. 3, schedule alone time. 4, wake up before family. For me, that's extremely hard because these girls literally sense when I'm woke. 5, boundaries. 6, prioritize sleep. Now, for me, I told y'all in my last video with boundaries and motherhood, I do not mess around with my sleep. All of that stuff about, oh, wait till the girls are asleep or the kids are asleep and then clean up. No, I'm not doing that. Because you know what? When I clean up and I enjoy this like alone time, they're waking up at the same time. Yeah. So whether I stay up from 9 to 11 and they wake up at 5 or 6, they're gonna expect me to be up, and then I'm gonna be extremely tired. And tired is me. Like, no. No, that's not for me. And get outside. And again, I told you guys things that I did was I had to go outside. I had to get out the house, even if that meant going for a coffee, even if that meant going to the grocery store, or taking my child to Chuck E. Cheese's, which is something I recently did, just to let her have fun, get her energy out. And then it's just like, it makes motherhood even more fun because you're taking out those mundane tasks of, oh, what you gotta do during the day, and it kind of becomes just extremely better for your mental health and for them to enjoy the best parts of motherhood, the best parts of you being their mom. Because I'll be honest, my mom, I really don't remember her being like this super clean freak or whatever. I mean, she's a bad, she done wrote 2 books, got 2 degrees. Like, I love my mom. She did that. However, I remember so many moments of me and her just mall walking, me and her just going to the mall, me and her going to the movies, bike riding. I mean, it's so many things that we did that I remember her literally being there. And those are the moments that I want for my kids. Yes, I'm going to build a great future, but when you're overstimulated, you want to make sure that your kids remember the best parts of you. Therefore, you need to know your triggers. My trigger is the weekends when they're both demanding my attention. So something I might do is even start my day off and say, okay, in the first half of the day, I'm gonna go here, go get a coffee and maybe, just drive around for a second. Or maybe I might go to my mom's house or to a friend's house, or honestly, sometimes, even with scheduling alone time, I'm trying to get better with this, and I've been outsourcing to my friends and my family to maybe have a couple hours of them having the girls. Now, I do a terrible job at this because during that long time, I'm not just spending it quietly. Like, I'm literally getting so much done, which I do feel really accomplished with that. But being proactive and saying, okay, if I know that I'm extremely stressed during the weekend, then I'm gonna schedule 2 hours for them to go to their auntie's house, or my toddler to have a play date, or I'm going to schedule an event, like something like that. Is really great in conquering being overstimulated. And again, one thing that I noticed with me, which is just the main reason why I had to be proactive in conquering and coping with overstimulation or being overstimulated, was my lack of empathy. It was extremely hard for me to empathize with my baby crying, with Lori crying when I was overstimulated, because I'm like, what are you crying for? And it was extreme, and this is just transparency moment. It was hard for me to take myself out of my own body and put myself in their shoes and say, oh, like, Lila, you know, her head is itching, or I don't know, she's hungry and she wants to be close to her mommy, or Lori needs some attention, or whatever, like, or she hurt herself, even though it might be self-inflicted from her doing something she wasn't supposed to. It's just still like just having those moments of empathy that being overstimulated robbed me of. So these tips, I hope they were helpful. I hope that me telling my business or whatever was extremely helpful to you. And let me know how you conquer overstimulation, or any times that you have been overstimulated. We are a forgiving community, okay, over here. We forgive ourselves. We learn to do better. We learn different ways. If we could get 1% better every day, that is all that matters. I've noticed a huge difference of how irritating crying used to be versus now. Like, I don't really get irritated with crying anymore. And I know it sounds so silly, but when I first experienced that, like, constant, it was right in between toddlerhood when it was just that constant crying and whining. Before, it used to trigger me. Now it doesn't. So I know that I'm progressing. I'm never gonna be perfect whatsoever. But all I know is that I am setting the stage for being self-aware, teaching my daughter to be self-aware, both of them, teaching Lori to stop and breathe, things like that. But anyway, hope this helped. I'll definitely be doing more motherhood mental health videos. Just like and subscribe, y'all, because I'm gonna start rambling. But like and subscribe. Again, definitely let me know what you guys do. And yeah, let's chit chat. See y'all.